Hey guys, my name is Mr. Lobach, and today we're going to be talking about Planbook. Planbook is an amazing resource. I've been using it for the last 3 years, and it has just been incredible. I have used written plan books, I have used other digital plan books, and this one for the price is just incredible. It's amazing. You could do everything inside of it. You can plan, you can create attachments, you can add resources from your curriculum onto this web page and attach it to specific plans that you have day by day. You can plan curriculums, you can grade, you can take attendance, everything inside of this one plan book, and it is super simple to use, and today I'm going to show you how to use it. As you can see here, it's already asking me to add another school year because the new school year is coming up, 2022-2023. So it says here, it looks like you're all ready to add the new school year to your plans. You can do this now, or you can add the school year at any time. I'm going to click no thanks, just because I'm going to show you how to add it at any time. As you can see here, these are my previous plans. I haven't really done much to them, but this is from the beginning of the year, from 2022. This is, I think, when I first started. So the first Monday you could see, and this was just while we were online because of a big snowstorm. So we didn't really have a chance to go inside the classroom for a little bit. And the school day, because of that, was a little bit strange. So you can ignore these plans. So I'm going to open up a new school year. So as you can see, I have a bunch here. I'm going to click add new school year. School year, we're going to go, I'll be teaching a grade 6 class this upcoming year. But for now, I'm just going to go 2022 to 2023. First day is going to be, we'll just put it as from today. And then the last day, you can put it as whatever day you want. Take a look at your curriculum documents, take a look at your board specific documents, because obviously if you're in Ontario, if you're high school, elementary school, if you're anywhere across the world, your start times are going to be different. Your potential end dates are going to be different as well. I know that in the UK, they end in July. In China, they go all throughout the whole year, at least for nursery, junior and senior kindergarten. Ontario, we usually start the day after Labor Day, so somewhere around the 7th, I think it is. And then we usually end around the 28th to the 30th, depending on how many days we have throughout the year. I think we're mandated to have 187 altogether. So we're going to take a look right now. I'm just going to make a random one. So we'll put it as July 2023, the last day. Right here, you could select and copy from previous classes. Sometimes I do that when I have, let's say I work in the same school, so we have the same start times, we have the same periods. I will not be doing that this year. I'm working in a different school, so I will not be selecting these. I'm going to start it off as if we were fresh. So continue. Now it asks us to add no school days. So we can add Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Easiest way to do this is, again, to go to your board calendar, take a look at what days you're not going to be working, and then plant them all in here. So it's saying Labor Day, I can add that, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Thanksgiving, I believe it's in October for Canadians. So this is a US-based website, but it's okay. So let's say winter break. I could put the start date from, probably the last day is going to be the 16th for us. So it's going to go run from the 19th to the, so for 2 weeks, and then we probably come back on the 2nd. Whew, that's going to suck. March is usually, I think, the 3rd week of March. So I'm just, spitballing here, so it's not going to be these ones. It's probably going to be from here to here, So, oops, actually I'm going to switch that. There we go. Okay. So then you can add your planning days, so your PA days, your PD days, whatever other holidays you want. So I'm just going to click add to the school year, and it's going to compile everything you've done so far, and then boom. So it says here, new schedule view. You can now manage your class list via class list view or new schedule view. The schedule view allows you to drag and drop classes into daily time slots and make setting up your yearly schedule much easier. Click to view the schedule button. So what I can do is I can click from today, because I set today as my first day, I can start adding in classes. So right here we have a schedule, or we have a button that says add in class. I'm going to click that button, and let's say I have first period French. So I'm going to type in French. I'm going to click it here, and it's going to load up. I have no specified times for that. What I can do is I can plant it. I can put a specified time, so I can drag it onto the board, and then let's say my French class runs from, let's say it runs from 8:15 a.m. to 10 a.m. If I have it all day long, or every single day, the same class from 8:15 to 10 a.m., it's perfect. I can apply to all day. If I don't, and if my schedule changes, which obviously it does for every teacher, I'm going to click apply only to this one. So I can drag them and put them anywhere I would like. I can apply only to this day. And then for this one, I can put it and apply to all days. There you go. And it plants all of my classes where they need to go. I can add a bunch more classes. I can add, let's say I have an art class that I have for here. And let's say I only have it on day 2. So day 2s, I'm going to put it right here, let's say. And I'm going to apply only to this day. I can also add in, and I do this for when I leave supply plans for teachers. I love to add in my supervision schedule on here, breaks and lunches. Really important to add those in for if you are going to leave this as a plan for a supply teacher, which I will show you how to do in a little bit. So let's say I have supervision. Right here. I have it, let's say day 1 right here. And I'm going to apply it all the way across the board because I have supervision every single day from 10:15 to 11:15. I can also add lunches. And we can go down here and let's say I'm going to apply these all throughout the day because lunch is 12:15 to 1:15. If I have a problem with the color, so let's say I don't like supervision because supervision, way too close to French, it looks almost exactly the same. I'm going to change it to purple. And now I'm going to click here and boom, all of a sudden, all my supervision classes are purple and I could tell the difference. What I like to do, especially because I'll be teaching 2 different French immersion grade 6 classes, I like to have color coded, depending on which class I'm teaching, I color code either light blue or dark blue for French, light green or dark green for social studies, light purple, dark purple for science, etc. So that's what I usually do. My lunches, my supervision, my lunches and my recesses are usually set to the same color. I usually do, I think, white. And then supervision, I set it as whatever. But it's up to you, whatever you'd like to set it as. Okay, let's add in my science class. Science/social studies because we run those at the same time. Click here and then we're going to put those all, cancel. We're going to put those all across here. Apply to all days. Boom, there we go. So now that my schedule is all set up, I'm going to click on go to plans because planning is really the bedrock of teaching. We start up with the plans and then we work from there. So inside of this system, what you're going to do is for every single set of classes that you have, for myself, I tend to have 2 of the same repeating because I'm teaching 2 French immersion classes. So I'll be repeating a lesson twice a day, basically. I'm going to go in here and the first thing you're going to see is edit lessons. So you can edit a lesson. You can put in your lesson plans, everything that you need to teach that lesson. You can lock in lesson to a date. So let's say you have a specific lesson that you must teach on that day because the principal told you, the superintendent told you, all the parents are yelling at you to teach this lesson. This is where you lock in that date and you cannot move it unless you unlock it, obviously. You can also move a lesson. So let's say for whatever reason, your French class is going to be moved to a different section. You can move that lesson. You can copy an entire section, which is what I tend to do because I do teach 2 separate classes. I copy and paste lessons on different time slots because I repeat lessons. You can bump a lesson forward or backwards one single day. You can extend a lesson so you can make it a little bit longer, or you can extend your standards, and I'll talk about what that means a little bit later. You could delete a lesson. You can add in a no class day. Or you can print a lesson, which is amazing for when you need to leave supply work. And finally, you can add attendance. So I can add attendance to my class. So I can assign students to my classroom. I don't have any assigned right now. I won't be doing that right now, but let's go back to planning. So inside of your plan, so as soon as I click on a lesson, I have a bunch of options. So the first thing I'm going to do is name my lesson. So back to school intro. It runs from 8:15 to 10. And I have a bunch of options here. I have my unit. So inside of Planbook, you can set units and you can set specific days or weeks for the units. You have your lessons, homework, you have notes that you can put on the lessons, standards, and attachments. Lessons is pretty obvious. So I have my opener. Apparently I can't spell today. Opener, or we call it the Minds On, action, consolidation. Now granted, you're not going to have every lesson as a Minds On, action, and consolidation, but a lot of your lessons will be. You're going to be introducing a topic to your students, you're going to be giving them a chance to try that action out for themselves, whatever the topic is, and then you're going to consolidate with them at the end. You're going to bring them all back and talk about what they've learned. So for the first day back, let's say my Minds On is I'm going to, number 1, introduce myself. Number 2, I'm going to put a, let's call it a self-intro PowerPoint. And then number 3, I'm going to give them the schedule. My action, I'm going to play, let's say, icebreaker games. Play icebreakers with the students. And finally, as my consolidation, I'm going to talk to them about rules of lunch and recess. Oh, boom. That's my lesson for the first day back. That's going to be the first hour and 45 minutes. Now, if I want to, I can assign homework here. So 100 pages of math. Work to be completed by tomorrow, let's say. And notes, I'm going to say that Charlie was being rude today in class. Rosa was very helpful and asked if she could clean up the boards as a classroom duty. Boom. So I have notes for my class, I have notes for my students. Now we have standards. Now, obviously, when you're first starting off the year, you're not going to be using standards. You're going to be getting to know your students. You're going to be kind of testing the waters and seeing where they're at, what they can improve on, what they already know. So for this lesson, there's really no standards to do, but we will take a look at them because this is part of the reason why I absolutely love Planbook. So if I click Edit Standards, from here, I have the option to choose from multiple curriculums. So I have the Canadian curriculum, I have the US Common Core, and I can even add frameworks if I would like. So we have the Australian curriculum, we have multiple Canadian curriculums, we have the UK curriculum, we have the France, the Honduras, the International Baccalaureate curriculum, Ireland's, Mexico's, New Zealand, Singapore, Sweden, US, and it goes on and on. I will scroll through this so everyone can take a look, but it basically covers a lot of the Western world for the curriculum, and it also looks like it covers, it also looks like it covers some international curriculums as well. So you have private international schools that it would cover. If it doesn't cover that curriculum, it's okay, it's not the end of the world. You can add in your standards underneath, but it's really nice to know that you can go in and check the standards. And if you are French immersion, they do have the FSL curriculum. They have the 2014 FSL curriculum. They have the updated math curriculum, which is amazing. Well, I can go in, let's say this lesson was a French immersion lesson that day. So we'll go FSL 2014. Now it breaks it up into different categories. So I can do listening, and because I'm teaching grade 6, I jump into the grade 6 curriculum. Now I'm taking a look at all the standards that I have for listening. There we go. All the standards that I have for listening of the grade 6 curriculum. So I don't need to guess. I don't need to figure out and have the giant curriculum book right beside me, or have it on Google, open up another document or something on Google and find that curriculum. No, it's all here. It's all built in for you. Now, I'm sure that there are other kind of plan book based systems that do the same thing, but it's just amazing to have, and it's amazing to be able to A, find the stuff, and B, if I need to, search for some stuff. So let's say we're covering metacognition and we're covering intercultural understanding. Okay, now finally I have the attachments folder. Now I can choose from either Google Drive or from files to attach. So if I click on my Google Drive, I have a bunch of options here. Request details. Oh, that doesn't look too good. Access your account with WireDSB, only approved apps and extensions. So it seems like because I'm on my school account, it's not letting me actually add attachments from my drive. Now, this wasn't a problem last year, but it seems to be a problem this year because they have upped their security. They've asked for two-factor authentication because there's been a lot of issues with hacking. So it seems like if you are going to use Planbook, or probably any other plan-based system like this, you're going to need to do it outside of your education account, outside of your board-approved email account. Now, you can set this up with whatever system you, or with whatever account you would like, and then log in back onto the system. So right now I am on my work email account, and it's not letting me go into the Google Drive, but it is letting me work off of Planbook for it. So if you have any issues like that, it's not the end of the world. You can always log in through a different account. So if I'm sure if I put it on my just regular day-to-day use account, I would be able to go in and add attachments. Now, that's not to say that there's no other way to add attachments, because you can pick files. So I have a bunch of different files that I've added in before. And let's say I want to choose, let's go for the first one, lessons components of a strong society. So upload new file. So you can either choose from files that you already have, or you can upload a file that is already in the system. So these are files that I used last year. So I'm going to click check, and I'm going to attach it. Boom. And now if I open it up, I have access to that lesson. I have access to that section. So I'm going to just quickly click yes, perfect, boom. And right here I have my back to school, my lesson, I have the homework, I have the notes, I have the standards, and I have the attachment available at all time. Now, because I do repeat this lesson twice, I'm going to click copy, I'm going to scroll down, and let's say I'm going to put it into the science lesson, and I'm going to paste, boom. So now, give it a second here, I have two copies of my lesson. So now that everything is set up, I can continue on, and I can take a look at some other things that we have. So I have my plans. You can add in assessments. So let's say for my science unit. So I'm doing electrical systems. Electricity class. I'm doing it is my science class, and my assessment is going to be from the 24th of August to, the 24th of August. Total points is going to be worth 100 points, and from here I can add in some notes that I would like to take, and most likely you're going to either build it on Google Docs, or you're going to build it on a PowerPoint, or wherever you create your assessments, or wherever you purchase your assessments from. You can add them in as attachments here. So let's say I'm going to upload a new file. Click the download section, and I want it as date last opened. Boom, I have la matière. There you go. And it's just going to slowly load in because it is quite a big file. That's okay. And what's nice is everything is saved year to year. So for whatever reason, 10 years from now, you're going to need to find some sort of assessment that you did way back in the day. You can go into a previous class and use that the assessments that you used from a previous classroom. So it's really nice because it helps consolidate everything. It helps make sure that everything is in one place. So if you are looking for something, it's very easy to find. As long as your system of labeling things is good. I know that I need to work on a bunch of stuff. As you could see from this section right here, I have a bunch of things that just say screenshot 2022-0308. I don't know what that is. I would have to take a look at that. I would have to open that up. I need to make sure that I'm labeling that stuff where if it's a specific page, if a specific document, I have it labeled as such. So now, again, I can add in the standards. So because this is a science, so I'm going to click on the science curriculum, all categories. We're doing grade 6, life 6. I feel like that's not grade 6, is it? Life systems, structures and mechanism, matter and energy, earth and space. Boom. Evaluate the impact of use of electricity on both the ways we live and the environment. Boom. And demonstrate understanding of principles. I can click all of these if I want. I can literally go boom. And now I have all the standards done. Check. And here's my social studies unit, and I can add score weighting. So to add a sample score weight, I can add it to my assessments or my assignments. I could do, let's say, assignments. No. I can type in different names of assignments, and I can type. Let's say it's a test number one, and I can have it weighted as, let's say, 10% of their score. So test number one, 100%. There we go, and I have it weighted as 100% of their score, and there we go. So that's their electricity unit. It's out of 100. I can also add, go to plans, assignments, same exact thing. Attendance, I can do attendance. I can assign students, which I've already shown. So if I click assign student, assign to all class. So if you have your students listed all here, you could just click assign all students to the class. You can remove all the students from the class. You can add your students over here, all levels. Classes, display settings, events. Events, I believe, yes. So events is where you can add your no school days, your fun days, whatever you have that's coming up. Again, take a look at your school's calendar and your board calendar to make sure that you're not forgetting anything. Add them up. It's really simple, and then it'll automatically do day zeros and skip it over to the next day. You can import grades over here. So you could do assessments, assignments. You can do standards, letter grades, performance reports. You can add in your reports here, which is very nice. I tend to do my reports on a Google document, and then I move it over to whatever the school approved system is, just because I've had it where I've lost stuff. And because Google Documents is on the cloud, it's so nice, because if for God forbid, whatever reason, you lose something on your school approved system, it's there. All you got to do is just copy and paste it. And it takes way less time to copy and paste than it does to rewrite. Trust me, it saves lives, especially teachers' lives. You can add in lesson banks. So again, you could take a look, and if you are teaching the same class over and over again, you can add lesson banks throughout the year, so you can review them and go back in as you're teaching in next year and over. File systems. So here's all the files that I've uploaded from the beginning using my Planbook account. You see, I have 156 files, a gigabyte of size. I haven't seen any size limit. I don't think there is one. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Let's go to my strategies. So if you have a strategy that you would like to use for a student or for a classroom, you can input those, and from there you can provide them for the supply teacher if you need it, or whoever's covering your class. School year is where you can set up your Monday to Friday. You can set up day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. When is your school schedule? Is it on a weekly basis, a 2-weekly basis? How long is your cycle, etc.? When does your school start and end? It's all very standard for these kinds of planning websites. So that's exactly what it is. Give it a second to load. There you go. So now it has everything saved up. Sharing options. So if you would like to share a Planbook lesson, or if you'd like to add a collaborator to your account, all you got to do is type in the teacher's key. They also have to have a Planbook account, obviously, to use it. But once you've shared it, they have access to your Planbook account, but only the sections that you would like shared. So you could set that up in a way where if you would like to share a specific unit, a specific plan, or your entire year, you could do that, but it's up to you how much you are willing to share. All right. Loading. We have standard reporting. There we go. So here's all the standards that you would have reported on or can report on. And finally, we have students. So again, you can add, import students and generate a join code for your students. So your students can actually submit things on here or given their attendance on here. Now, my school uses something completely different, so I tend not to use Planbook for attendance. But if your school uses or doesn't have a system, you're more than welcome to use this. Templates for lessons that you can add yourself. So I don't think I have any templates. No, I don't. But you are more than welcome to add different kinds of templates, lesson plans, unit plans, seating charts, anything that you have, you're more than welcome to add on here. Finally, we have units. So units, I love it because you can set up a class ID and a unit ID. So unit 1 is going to be, let's say, procedural writing for French. Class French, unit ID 001. My start date, the first day I'm going to be doing it is I'm going to be teaching it from Monday. From Monday, I want it to last one single month. And so we're going to put it to here. So now from here, I can add a description, a lesson, homework, notes, standards, assignments, assessments, etc. All the things that we've talked about here. And what's really nice is if I go back to my plans, from here, when I click on edit my lesson, I have a unit option, so procedural writing. If I put this one under procedural writing, it will load up and coordinate all those lessons together that I will be teaching throughout that month, and I will have it as a basis for next year because it does save all of your progress. So if I'm teaching the same year next year, if I'm teaching the same grade, if I'm teaching the exact same things and the curriculum hasn't changed, I can go back, look at what I had planned for that lesson. I can make changes, modifications for the students of my next year's class, and I have everything ready. So it makes things so much easier because it archives everything. Now, if I go to units again, take a look, I do have I will have some kind of lessons under my unit. So I can go back and click on it. Right now, obviously, I have nothing other than that single one, but what can you expect? So other than that, yeah, that's it. That's really it for Planbook. I love this resource. I really do. I use it all the time. And I think paperback Planbooks are absolutely useless. They waste so much paper. I've had so many throughout my years of teaching, and it just sucks to fill them in. It doesn't make it anything easier. This actually makes things easier. And if I really need to, if I go and I click on my plans, because I know the next day I'm going to be sick, all I need to do is print a lesson. When I click print a lesson, it opens up my Planbook PDF. When I pop it open, it slowly loads up, and there we go. I have my entire lesson, my entire day, all full. If I only wanted to print that one lesson. Now, if I want to print my whole day, click on the date, click on print, and then I choose exactly what I want. So let's say I want equal size for the lesson. So every lesson is going to be the equal size. Avoid page breaks within lessons. I always do that. Print on grayscale, print one lesson per page, and print day in 2 columns. So let's click print. I open it up, and now I have my entire lesson set up where each page is one lesson, and I can pass this on in an email. I don't need to worry like, oh, did I fill it in properly? Did I not add in a certain document or whatever? No, you send it to admin, they print it off, they put it on your desk in the morning or hand it off to the supply teacher. If they don't do it, you ask a colleague to do it, and that's it. You're not worried about anything. A plan book like this is 1,000 times better than a physical plan book, and I cannot stress that enough. If you've enjoyed this video, and I know it is a long video, and before I ask for anything, thank you so much for sticking through the whole thing. Please leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this for teachers, made by teachers, then please subscribe to the channel. And I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye.